Look at this. It came wrapped like it was some Christmas gift or something.
It does feel a little like Christmas. Look at that. It is Christmas.
Before we go on with testing the radio, let's see what's in the box. There's a user manual, and if you note, it doesn't even have the name on the user's manual. It's probably because it works with any of the associated radios, and I have yet to read the manual in its entirety. This model is the AR5RM. You get a handy lanyard, the obligatory belt clip, earpiece, microphone thingy that I've used only once, a battery, and may I note, a big battery that charges with USB-C. Has a little light right there too. Has this cool rubber ducky antenna. I just like doing that. And of course, the radio itself. Note, it's CE/FCC certified, according to the Made in China folks. I was also fortunate enough that it came with a plug-in style cradle, so you can charge your battery that way. Let's do a simple install, shall we? Here are the screws that come with it. Here's the clip. Let's put that on first. Pretty simple. Put the clip right there. Take your screws. I recommend putting the clip on first, because if you put the battery in and then put the clip on, you're fighting the spring the whole time on that clip. On. Now, pull back. Slip your battery in. It snaps in place. Take your lanyard. This is the tricky part. You can't put it in there. You could try taking a tiny screwdriver . Look at that. Slide it in. Perfect. By the way, forgot to tell you, came with a USB-C cable. Don't forget, charge it up before you use it. Now that it's fully charged, this is actually quite a nice antenna. And if you look right inside there, I don't know, can you see that? It has some words in there. I think it's a dual band antenna. Turn it on and let's listen to the lady talk.
Welcome. Channel mode.
Yeah. So you have both channel mode and
Frequency mode.
frequency mode. And you can monitor two at the same time.
Channel mode.
Either way. One of the most awesome features is this button that my thumb is on right now. You press it, it makes a noise, and the flashlight comes on. If you press it again, it flashes . Press it again, it shuts off. There's this other handy button that's orange that when you press it and the radio is on, (106.7) or any FM station you choose to install. An annoying feature is the screen goes blank after 30 seconds. Now you can change it in the software, but the fact that it goes blank and you got to press something so it comes back on is kind of a pain in the butt. I wish I could keep it on all the time. I guess I better read the manual. Can you read that display outdoors in bright sunlight?
Nope.
Well, kinda. It's difficult. Let's look at the size difference. That's its little brother, the UV5R. I've got a couple of those. I like them. But do I like this one better? I don't know yet. One of the more current features in the radios like this is this scanning mode. That button right there. You press it and hold it. It goes into a search mode. You turn on your other radio. You press the button. It's looking. And it found 518.998, which was the same thing I was doing over here. That way you and your friends can be on the same frequency. Then you can also search in VHF mode. Look at that. And then you keep pressing the AB button and you notice you could search in the 200 range, the 350 range, and then back to UHF. All right, let's just take a moment and look at this picture. If you look at the UV5R, you'll see that it's transmitting 519.000. But the 5RM is receiving 518.998. That means one of two things are happening. The UV5R is transmitting the wrong frequency, or the 5RM is unable to read the correct frequency. Or maybe there's a third solution, that both radios are all jacked up. Leave a comment below if you know what's going on here. I'd like to know. Well, we can check this if we just simply use the SDR. Let's key up on atv.com, which should be 144.725, and see what we get. It says 144.724.629. So this radio is transmitting just slightly off center frequency. How much does this guy weigh? 10 and 7/8 ounces. Let's compare that to the UV5R. 7.5 ounces. This guy be chunky. All right, I'm gonna try an audio test so I can hear the difference between the UV5R and the 5RM that I have, or it's the AR, you know, the assault rifle, 5RM, and see how they sound. So I've got my SDR set up to receive a transmission that I'll do to each of these, and I'll split the screen so you can see the frequency as well as hear how it sounds while I'm transmitting at the other end. That's always something that's kind of perplexed me. Some radios sound better at the other end than others. Sometimes it's the antenna. Now I've got the beep antenna on the, what is this one? The 5R. And the 5RM has the little 701 looking kind of rubber ducky antenna that it came with. So apples to oranges a little bit, but I'm going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Okay, now if I don't want to discourage anyone.
Channel mode.
Channel mode, good. All right, I don't want to discourage anyone.
Welcome. Channel mode.
To getting any of these radios. You do not need a license to own either of these radios. Okay. However, you do need a license granted by the FCC to transmit on certain frequencies. However, there are a bunch of frequencies that don't require any license whatsoever. And for today's demonstration, those are the frequencies that I'm going to be using. I'm going to focus in on what's called MERS 1 on both of these. Neither of them require license. So I'm going to key up, and I'll split the screen, and we're going to see how this goes.
This is our test on on the UV5R, holding it pretty close to my mouth, speaking rather loudly, and transmitting on MERS 1. This is just a test to see how it sounds at the other end.
All right, let's...
Welcome. Channel mode.
Channel mode. MERS 1, we're going to try it now on the AR5RM.
This is a radio test to check the audio as we broadcast on MERS 1 with the AR5RM. How does this one sound? Let's look at the comparisons.
And nobody answered, so they don't care. Now, what's kind of cool about this radio is, even though I've been kind of using it as a dual band radio, it can actually bring in 5 bands. So certainly 70 centimeter, 2 meter, and then it could also take in FM commercial, which we've already looked at. It could also take in the 300 band, which we haven't looked at, and then the 200 band, which we haven't looked at. And it also will take in AM band, both air band as well as NOAA. So there's a lot of frequencies this thing can tune in. Now, can you transmit on all of them? There are some you just should not transmit on. But I will do this. There's an airplane coming in. 119, that's where the Waco airport is. Let's wait. I hear an airplane. Doesn't mean he's going to be landing. It's starting to rain. I got to go inside. All right, frankly, I wasn't hearing any air traffic at the moment, but you can listen to air traffic, which is AM band. And then if you press the 0 button and hold it,
On.
weather comes on. Now, I'm in a spot in the house that I can't get any of the weather channels, but you can scroll through, all the different frequencies so you can scan weather. Kind of a cool feature. What's interesting is if I stand in the toilet room, the weather channel comes in just fine.
Tonight, mostly cloudy.
Lastly, I told you I was going to show you how to keep this thing from shutting off. And you know what? It's in the manual. I went looking. I didn't realize that there was a stopwatch function, just in case you wanted a time erase or something while you're listening to the radio. And then right next to that, there's something called a scrambler. I guess you could scramble your voice. And then in their infinite wisdom, they call something dual watch right next to stopwatch, making you think you could have 2 watches. It's dual scanning. We talked about that earlier. Let me throw this down on the table and I'll show you that way. Okay, now somebody's coming in on... Oh, by the way, I got a new one of these. We're going to talk about that next time. If you hold down this green button,
Menu.
you get to the menu and I think you go to number 6. 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and I'm reading it upside down and it says no, but I think it's on.
Confirm.
Ah, there you go. Now, it shouldn't ever turn off, right?
Confirm.
Can you see why I am so confused? I don't know. This manual, very confusing. Get Chirp. Chirp works pretty well with this radio. Just use the 5RM version and you should get most of the functions of this radio via Chirp. If you don't know what Chirp is, you probably don't need this radio. All right, still on. So do I recommend the radio? Yeah, sure. For $30, a little less than $30, I'll leave a link down below if you want to pick yourself up one. It's worth it. Does it have some shortcomings? Lots. It doesn't seem like every iteration quite gets it totally right. Now, I guess I understand that. Commerce and all. You want to incrementally bring out features that improve the radio over time for two reasons. One, they don't want to spend the time in R&D initially. They're going to let the customer be the beta tester and do all the R&D for them. And on the feedback, then they'll make the changes so that they, number two, force you to buy more radios, or at least compel you or urge you to buy more. That was an airplane coming in. Buy more radios. Still on. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it squirts out 10 watts of powers. I'll leave a link down below. We'll see you on the next one.
See you.